How long is it taking to get a PERM, the labor certification? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Shaparali from the Shaparali Law Group. We have been practicing law for 19 years and we have been very, very successful in many of those employment based questions. Before I continue, please subscribe and like our video, subscribe to our channel, and share, please, to all your friends. So, we are going to answer the question that many people are asking: how long is it taking to get a perm approved? This is the you have to understand what is the perm first to so that we can move forward. The perm labor certification is a requirement and the most common way for people who come on H1Bs and other visas, employment based, to get a green card. The process itself is a three-part process to get the green card. Number one is the perm labor certification. Number two is the I-140. Number three is the adjustment of status, I-485. And that's where once your dates are current, you file it and you get your green card. Now, going back to the perm labor certification, perm labor certification itself is a three-part process. Then process number one is actually to do what we call a prevailing wage request. We usually do that with the state workforce agency. Once this is approved, then you move forward to the recruitment, and then number three, you ultimately file the perm itself. Unfortunately, the prevailing wage request, which used to take when I started doing perm, which, by the way, I was among the first lawyers who filed the perm in the United States in 2005 when it was introduced. It was taking only maybe few days to get the wage request, but later on, as we go, it has become almost 6 months to get it. And once you get that, then you move on with the recruitment. There are those three mandatory recruitments to the newspapers, etc., for California, Cal jobs, and also the two mandatory one, the weekly ones, and the other newspapers that you have to do usually for labor certification for people with a bachelor's degrees first 5 years experience, which are the EB2 or master's degree, and the EB3, which are the bachelor's degrees plus 2 years experience. But I'm not going to go into details which one qualify for which, because there are ways to work this out. But here, until you get this, the wage request, you are not able to move forward usually. Now, I'm saying usually because it is possible to move forward with the recruitment simultaneously. I repeat that. Concurrently, while you're filing the wage request, you can also do the recruitment. But there are many disadvantages to that. Number one, if you get a high salary, the company is not willing to pay, you're going to see yourself having to redo the whole recruitment process, and it costs money because you have to pay the ads, etc. And it's double work for the lawyer, so twice the legal fee. And the second reason you don't want to move forward concurrently is that when you filing the labor certification, when you're filing for your ads, and then you don't have you have a certain amount of time that the ad has to run. You cannot pass 180 days from the first ad, and if you cannot do that and you don't get the prevailing wage request, you end up in a mess because you have to start over again. So the reason that you have to wait that 6 months is usually that. Once we get that prevailing wage request, we run the ads like I mentioned, and then once the ads is run, usually say 30 days plus 30 days, which means 60 days, then you can file for the labor certification itself, and then you wait. Okay, the first step itself of the wage request that is done with the state workforce agency takes around 6 months, unfortunately, like I said. The second step, another 60 days minimum, 60 to maybe 90 days, because you have to 30 days to run the ad and another 30 days you have to let it run. And then the third step is, of course, to file it. And so you take 6 months on the higher end, and you take another 60 days, it makes it around 8 months. Then filing the perm itself, it takes just a couple of days. It's just a matter of filling the form at this point, and of course reviewing and everything. So maybe 1 week or even 1 day. If the employer is able to review, everybody's satisfied, you can move forward. That 1 day rule that everybody is talking about doesn't work, because you still have to run all the stuff before you even reach that 1 day, right? So don't be fooled by the 1 day rule, that everybody is saying, oh, in 1 day I can file the perm. No, you can file the paperwork, but you cannot file the process in 1 day. Okay, so I wanted to make that clear to people, because people are calling me saying, this company is saying, oh, they can file it in 1 day. No, they cannot, because you have to have the recruitment process. Now, once you file the perm itself, there is usually a waiting time of around almost, I'll say, 6 months to 4 months to 8 months to get an approval. Most of our cases gets approved within 5 months, which is a good thing. So you already are 8 months plus 5 months, so you already 13 months. So if you go with the 8 month higher end, 8 months plus 8 months is 16 months. So in a realistic way, you can get your perm approved in 16 months, worst case scenario, unless there's an audit. Okay, if there's an audit, it's a different ball game. You have to wait and answer the audit, etc., etc. Luckily, we don't get many audits, so that helps us a lot to get the perm approved fast. So this is a real process. Okay, and a lot of people totally get frustrated why I tell them have at least 1.5 year on your H1B before you file, because if you're reaching 1.5 year of your H1B, before like the 6 years, when you reach close to the 6 years, keep so around the 4.5 years, 4.5 years in your H1B. That means H1B consume 4.5 years. You need to start the perm, and I'm saying starting means already decided and everything, and start get going with the applying with the state workforce agency, etc. So don't be fooled and think this can be done really fast. Although we process the case as soon as we get the go from the employer, you have to add many other factors. The employer delays, if there are layoffs, etc., etc. If there's a layoff, you have to start the process again after 6 months. So if you need any help, feel free to reach out to us, 510-742-5887. If you need any kind of assistance with any immigration matter, feel free to reach out, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for listening, and good luck to all of you.